Welcome back. We have the whole Texas basketball coaching staff enjoying some conversation here about hoops on and off the court. Style of play on the court, you think about what you had and it was chaotic. You were known defensively or nationally that the defense was going to get after you. What kind of style of play can Texas fans expect to see next year?
Well, we're still going to get after people.
Okay.
It may be a little bit different, especially initially, than what we did at VCU, but we certainly want to work towards that style of play because we believe in it. It's something that we're comfortable coaching, and I think players want to play that way. Certainly in this first year, it makes sense for us as coaches to fit what we're doing around who we have. You know, it's our job as coaches, and this is one of the challenges when you're new, is to really get a feel for what's the best way to play on offense, what's the best way to play on defense. But
with your personnel, right?
Exactly, with your personnel. You don't want to put a square peg in a round hole, but I don't think it's that simple that we have a square peg and what we did at VCU is a round hole.
Right.
I think that there's certain things that we did that certainly can translate here immediately, and then there's certain things that we did at VCU that may take a little bit more time to implement here at Texas.
Well, Coach Warren, I'm curious because you've been a head coach at 2 different stops and you've got a head coach here that you really wanted to coach for. How can you utilize that experience to help out this program?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just that word experience. You know, I've been in the business for a long time prior to my short break in television, and you know, I'm here to do whatever I can to help, whatever that means. Sweep the floor, help develop players, help recruit. I'm going to be behind in these two guys recruiting. These Mike and David are tremendous recruiters, but I think just coming in and being a voice that's on board with what coach is trying to do and help develop players and help develop this program. And I think, as he said, with style of play, as being a head coach that's taken over 2 stops, having some understanding for what that transition is like and maybe trying to help with that some. But the biggest thing about the style of play is not the X's and O's of it, but the mentality and the enthusiasm and energy that coach wants to play with. And that I think I have some understanding of. And, you know, it's our job as assistants to help the players understand that and get them to do it at a high level.
You should have stayed in TV. Because next thing is energy. That's called the transition. You know that. I mean, that is setting me up very well. Let's go to Coach Cason because I know energy. I keep on hearing that from people that are around the program. The players are loving it. The coaching staff has that. How important is that for this program?
Well, it's tremendous. You know, we talk to the guards all the time about just this team is going to go as you guys go. And I was always told this, that nothing great was ever achieved without energy and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And so that always sticks with me, and it stuck with me throughout my playing career and my professional career. So it's very, very important.
Well, you guys bring that energy to the practice floor, and we've got some video. Well, I've got video of both you guys, but here's Shaka. All right. That's how you take it right there, all right? Now, Coach Cason, I love you to death, but we got some video of you, and you took the charge, but there was like a little moment of like you didn't know if you really were going to take it all the way, but that's awesome to see. All right, here we go. All right, Coach, take us through this here.
Oh,
come on.
Who ran me over? That was Jaquan Lewis. That was one of my point guards. So he was trying to take care of Coach Cason on that one.
Coach, what do you say about that?
Well, we got some work to do there. But I tell you what, you know, again, it's a situation where we get to coach the game of basketball every day for a living.
Not bad.
It's a pretty neat gig. Our guys are on full scholarship playing the game of basketball at a world-renowned university. Again, pretty great situation to be in. So I think any time in life you have to make a choice. Either you have to do something or you get to do something. And every time we hit that court, we get to be on the court, you know, as players or coaches. And that's the mentality we're going to bring.
I thought it was really interesting. One of the first things you did, you reached out to TJ Ford and also LaMarcus Aldridge. I can understand that, but you also reached out to John Holmes. And I don't think John's going to have the NBA career those guys did. Maybe he will, but he's also the only senior leaving. Why'd you reach out to him?
Well, you know, he's still here at UT. He's finishing classes. He's working out. He's working towards being a professional basketball player. And, so the transition impacts him as well, even though his career playing at Texas is over. So I just wanted to reach out to him and say, hey, anything that we can do for you as a new staff, you're welcome to be a part of our workouts. You're welcome to be in the weight room with a strength coach. He's a guy from all accounts that I've heard that's been a phenomenal representative of this basketball program for the last 4 years.
He has.
And that's through good times and bad. And I think for him, I wanted to show him that we appreciate that, even though we're new. And Jay and I have talked about this a lot. We want to have a close connection to all former players, whether it's someone that got done playing 20 years ago or someone like John that literally just finished his career.
That says a lot about you. I want to talk to you as a former player. How has the former players, how have they taken to Coach?
Oh, everybody's excited, and everybody can't wait to get to campus to meet him. He's been on the phone with a lot of them, and that's the one thing that's really stood out, is how quickly he reached out to the former players and people who's been a part of the program since he's got here. It's one of the first things he did, and that's that's something that everyone has texted me about and called me about, and they're really excited just to get back and meet him.
Okay. Isaiah Taylor coming back. Your thoughts?
I'm excited about it. I mean, when you get here, you just start developing a relationship with players. But when you first see him on the floor, the first thing you think about is how he'll thrive with Coach Smart. Yeah. Not only the way that we play, but the way that he coaches that position. So it's a good decision for Isaiah because he's going to thrive in the style of play.
Coach, what was your pitch to Isaiah?
Well, I was a little different maybe than some people might have expected me to be. I told him all along he needs to do the best thing for him and make the right decision for himself. Obviously our program was going to be in a better position talent-wise if he did decide to come back. But if he decided to go, we would go from there as well. And I wanted to paint a picture for him of what this next year is going to be like. But at the same time, there's no crystal ball. I can't say exactly what our record's going to be or exactly what twists and turns the season will take. I did tell him this, that, as the point guard and then as the head coach, he and I are going to be very, very closely connected around our goals as a team. And if we can reach those goals as a team, I firmly believe in all the teams that I've been a part of, typically individuals can reach their goals from that team success.
Let's talk about those players. Do have some big men, probably a bigger team than you've had in the past. Do you go inside out? Have you thought about how you want to set up your offense with that current personnel?
Well, we're still working through that and figuring that out. I would certainly say it'd be safe to say that we're going to throw the ball inside more than we did at VCU this past year because we were very, very perimeter oriented. And what we have here is we have not only some good big players coming back, but they're older. They've been around and they have a lot of experience. Again, what we're going to have to do is figure out what's the best way to utilize all the guys that we have coming back, the guys that we have coming in, and work them together. It's interesting, some of the people that have followed the program much more closely than I did prior to getting here, one of the things that they've said to me is your biggest challenge is going to be you have some good individual pieces. How do you make them work together?
Yep.
And how do you take a speed guy like Isaiah Taylor and get him to fit with a interior, tough, physical guy like Cameron Ridley? Obviously, those guys have played together a lot, but our style is going to be different than what they're used to. And we're excited as a staff about the challenge of making that work.
Before I let you go, for all the Texas fans who are thinking, okay, I just had 17 years with Coach Barnes. I don't know what it's going to look like. Why are they going to be excited to be a Texas basketball fan next year?
Well, I think that the number one reason they're going to be excited is they're going to see a level of energy, aggressiveness, and passion for the game. And, one of the things I want to make clear is I have a ton of respect for what Coach Barnes and all the previous coaches have done here. There's been a lot of success here at Texas. It's not like we're stepping into a situation where the program has never been good. There's a great tradition here. There's been some deep runs in the NCAA tournament. And what we want to do is we want to build on that tradition. And as these guys mentioned, that starts and ends with players. Number one, attracting the right people to your program. Number two, treating them as whole people and developing the whole person. And then number three, helping them become the best basketball players they can in the short span of time that we have with them. So I think the fans are going to be excited by, the passion and energy that they see on the floor. We have a lot of work to do before that first game in Shanghai, China.
Yeah.
But we're really excited about it, and I think we have the right guys on our staff. I'm really excited that that part of it is done, and we can move forward.
I think you guys have the right guys as well. And my producer always says, energy, energy, before we go on. You guys bring the energy. Thank you so much for coming in, and good luck here in Austin.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Evan.